Good morning. This is Pastor Zach with the Goodland United Methodist Church with your morning devotion for Wednesday, August 16th. Today we're going to look at Luke in the 24th chapter. Now on that same day, two of them were going to a village called Emmaus, about 7 miles from Jerusalem, and talking with each other about all the things that had happened. While they were talking and discussing, Jesus himself came near and went with them, but their eyes were kept from recognizing him. And he said to them, "What are you discussing with each other while you walk along?" They stood still, looking sad. Then one of them, whose name was Cleopas, answered him, "Are you the only stranger in Jerusalem who does not know what things have taken place in these days?" He asked them, "What things?" They replied, "The things about Jesus of Nazareth, who was a prophet, mighty in deed and word before God and all the people, and how our chief priests and leaders handed him over to be condemned to death and crucified him. But we had hoped that he was the one to redeem Israel. Yes, and besides all this, it is now the third day since these things took place. Moreover, some of the women of our group astounded us. They were at the tomb earlier this morning, and when they did not find his body there, they came back and told us that they had indeed seen a vision of angels who said that he was alive. Some of those who were with us went to the tomb and found that it was just as the woman had said, but they did not see him. As they came near to the village which they were going, he walked ahead as if he were going on. But they urged him strongly, saying, 'Stay with us, because it is almost evening, and the day is now nearly over.' So he went in to stay with them. When he was with them at the table, he took bread, blessed and broke it, and gave it to them. Then their eyes were opened, and they recognized him, and he vanished from their sight. They said to each other, 'Were not our hearts burning within us while he was talking to us on the road, while he was opening the scriptures to us?'" These two travelers were set on a journey for Emmaus. Luke doesn't give us information about why they're going, what their agenda might be, why they've left Jerusalem. Maybe they've left in fear, maybe in despair, maybe because they don't know what to do with everything that's happening around them, all the changes that have occurred. On the road, they meet this stranger, and I can't help but wonder if they still felt some familiarity, like maybe they've met him somewhere but just can't quite place it. So they talk with this man as they walk, and the two travelers don't seem to understand what has happened, and the stranger tries to tell them. But before they know it, they've arrived where they're going. It's late, so they invite him in to come and eat with them, and he accepts, though it turns out that maybe he was the one doing the inviting all along. Surely when they sit down to eat, it starts to come back to them, where they've met this stranger before. Surely they start to remember the other meals they've shared with him. The bread and fish picnic when the 5,000 were fed, or that last supper in the upper room just days before where they gathered, frightened as he spoke of things they did not understand and did not want to hear, when he passed the cup and broke the bread. Surely it starts to come back to them then. It's the breaking of the bread that does it. It's when he breaks the bread that they finally remember where they've met this man before. It's when he breaks the bread, when the flesh of the bread is torn and crumbs are on the table. Then their eyes are finally open and they can see what's really happening. It's when he breaks the bread they're brought back from the shadows of death and realize that life has won. It seems to me this is where we live our lives, where the church lives. In this part of the chapter of Luke, between the abandoned linens of the empty tomb and the ascension to heaven. Looking for hope in the midst of dark days, hoping to be pulled out of the shadows and not quite sure how to get there until we're reminded that Jesus is with us, always with us in the breaking of the bread. We remember him. Have a blessed day.